Hi and welcome to your energy art reading for the week of the 12th until the 18th of August. My name is Vicky Paul. I'm an intuitive and I use art and energy to bring through clarity, guidance, growth and well-being. And I wanted to have a chat with you. This is going to be a fairly short reading because it feels that that's what the energies are like at the moment. If you watched last week's energy, there was some stuff that came through about just being a bit on edge and minding how you communicate. And I feel, don't shoot the messenger, that this is going to carry forward in this week as well. And it feels that there's a bit of tension going on. I can feel it within myself and collectively. And it feels, I have this image of this huge big wave coming forward. So it feels like your emotions are going to be coming forward in a wave. And then they're going to be receding again and then coming forward in a wave and receding again. And it also feels that there's going to be a lot of heightened sensitivity. And there's a supermoon on the 19th of August just outside this week. However, you do start to feel the energies a few days before a full moon and a new moon. And this full moon is a sturgeon full moon and it's all about sort of strength and resilience. But it feels that whilst we're getting these energies of strength and resilience, it feels there's a bit of impatience in there as well. And it's kind of like, okay, well, that's great. We've got the strength and resilience. Thank you. But this journey's been going on and on and on. And you're kind of like, come on, when is it going to be over? But it just feels that this feels much more like a much more challenging week than it has been for a wee while. And it feels that you're going to be like marking your territory or staking a claim. And I had this image of somebody just sticking a huge big flag in the ground and, you know, this is mine, this is my land. And it kind of feels that we are going to be standing our ground, making a claim, you know, staking our claim in something. And there's a kind of rigidity around it. And for some of you that'll feel good, but it feels quite challenging. And I feel the energy is very tense. I feel that we are going to be sharp in our communication and we're going to kind of go, oh crikey, quickly, we'll just have to retreat and, apologize where need be. But even with all this information and even knowing all this, it feels that we're not going to be able to help ourselves. It almost feels like our resilience and strength is low. And as we build up towards that sturgeon moon on the 19th, we will start to be able to have a wee bit more control of ourselves, a wee bit more control of our emotions and a wee bit more control of the way we communicate. But this week is going to be bumpy for us. I also feel that there's a lot of emotion around this week and it feels that this emotion is going to be presenting itself in our bodies. So you are going to have random aches and pains. You might be oversensitive to certain things, places, food. There's just going to be this kind of energy of the sort of push-pull energy where you're really understanding your limitations and understanding boundaries and really pushing those to feel where feels comfortable, to feel where feels natural. And I just want to, send out a huge big hug because I feel I need it. I feel quite emotionally vulnerable. And for some of you, and I don't like to kind of go back to the previous week's reading, but I feel these last week and this week are really interlinked and one feeds into the other. And some of you will be experiencing quite vivid dreams that will be kind of disturbing. And I don't mean fearful or scary, but just ones that really stick with you. Sometimes you get these dreams and you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I don't feel good. Or they really make you question, or you're like, what the hell was that all about? Because they're so vivid. So there's going to be a lot of vivid dreaming happening. And if the meaning doesn't come to you straight away, then Google, dream interpretations. And oftentimes when you do that, there's a variety of different meanings with them. So one will jump out at you, one will connect with you. So just really trust your gut in interpreting what these dreams are all about. You know, take note, write stuff down, because it feels that there's messages coming through in our dreams. That's last week, kind of tail end of last week into the beginning of this week, and this is really part of this kind of clearing, part of this understanding of boundaries, understanding who you are, the sensitivities, the vulnerabilities. They're all going to be coming out. You know, we spoke last week about this kind of self-worth issue coming up, and this is the sort of lingering energy of that. You know, we're really questioning our value, who we are, how past experiences affect us today. And I speak for you, I speak for me as well. It feels a very collective energy, and I just want to say, just be gentle with yourself as best you can this week, because it feels there's going to be some, you know, negative chat on yourself. And again, don't shoot the messenger. And I'm sorry, this is not a more buoyant and upbeat reading, but sometimes we have times and weeks and days where things just don't go great. And it feels that this is a real culmination of experiences, of time, of energy, and it just come into this big crescendo, where we're really digging deep and clearing and understanding who we are, and you know what it is that we want to be, and who we want to be around. So yeah, go gentle on yourself, go gentle on your loved ones, meditate, take some time for self-care in whatever capacity that is, and yeah, work with crystals. If you do work with crystals, you'll know which ones to work with. If you've never worked with crystals, find a crystal shop and just go in and see what you're drawn to, and just use the energy of the earth to help ground you a bit this week, because it feels we're going to need a lot of kind of grounding energy just to hone us in. So that is, I told you it was going to be short and sweet. It just feels it's kind of like get in, get out this week. So it's short and it's punchy. As ever, thank you so much for watching these videos. Let me know if this resonates. Thank you so much for commenting, for following me, for helping me to grow this channel. It's really lovely to have your support, and I really appreciate it. So do share the video if it's going to help someone, and good luck around the sort of lead into the new moon. As I said, just be gentle, self-care, eat well, be aware of what you're putting into your stomach, you know, drink a lot of water, cleanse. And cleansing can be sort of a bathing ritual, but it can also be writing and journaling and getting it out of you. It feels that we need to get things out of us. So some of you may actually, it's just coming through, will be wanting to do some kind of like a juice cleanse or some kind of detox this week, where we're really just valuing ourselves from a material and a sort of physiological point of view, which I feel is going to help, because sometimes we get trapped in that cycle of not eating well, not sleeping enough, and that just helps with the spiral in the wrong direction. So we want to be lifting our energy this week as much as we can. So I'm sending you all a big virtual hug. I hear you, I feel you, I'm going through it with you. And I will see you next week.